In this video, we just want to quickly talk about 7 elements that are very important, and they're called the diatomic elements. Diatomic elements. There's only 7 of them. You need to know which ones they are. 7 of them. Diatomic elements are exactly what they sound like. They are molecules that have 2 atoms in it. Basically, they're very, very reactive, and so if they can't find another kind of element to bond on with, then an atom will just bond on with another atom of itself. They're diatomics. So, for instance, hydrogen gas. You don't just draw a hydrogen atom, you would draw a hydrogen molecule. One hydrogen atom would bond on with another hydrogen atom, and this is called a diatomic molecule. So there are 7 of those, and this is the only periodic table I had on hand here, so it's kind of a strange one. But if you look in the halogens family, and you go up like this, we'd have iodine, bromine, chlorine, fluorine, and then go over and get oxygen and nitrogen. Okay, and I put a box around that. Okay. Isn't that amazing? It makes a 7. Well, there's only 6 there. Iodine, bromine, chlorine, fluorine, oxygen, and nitrogen. However, we think about the 7 as pointing over towards the 7th, which would be hydrogen. Kind of lame, maybe. But that's a good way to remember it. So, the halogen, basically the halogen family, and then oxygen and nitrogen also. So that's a way to remember the 7. Another way to do that is a saying that we could use. Clover, Cl, brings, Br, forth, F, and then if we spell honey incorrectly, H-O-N-I. Clover brings forth honey. Chlorine, bromine, fluorine, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, iodine. So the way that we write these diatomic elements is we write it in little pairs. So we'd have Cl2, we'd have Br2, we'd have F2, hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, nitrogen gas, iodine. They're all in 2s. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes people say, well, sometimes there's oxygen by itself. What about H2O? Well, this has nothing to do with diatomic elements, okay? Because the oxygen and the hydrogen are bound together, and so it doesn't need to bind on with itself. We're only talking about if these elements are by themselves, then they will form little pairs of the elements. So it would be O2. Okay, there doesn't always have to be a 2 down behind the oxygen. If the oxygen's in a compound, then it wouldn't necessarily have to have a 2 down behind it. So those are the diatomic elements, those 7. You need to commit those to memory.